The Aztec Empire, thriving in the 15th century, is often viewed through a lens of horror by modern audiences. Ritual sacrifice, a cornerstone of their belief system, evokes immediate moral outrage today. Yet to the Aztecs, these acts were not mere brutality. They were vital to their understanding of existence. For the Aztecs, the cosmos was a delicate balance, and the gods demanded sustenance to maintain that equilibrium. This worldview, so foreign to contemporary sensibilities, framed their rituals as necessary acts of devotion. Understanding this perspective is crucial to grasping the logic behind their sacrifices. Modern viewers often react with shock and disbelief at the idea of human sacrifice. Yet, to the Aztecs, these rituals were expressions of gratitude and obligation. They believed that life itself was a currency, and blood was the most sacred form of payment to the divine. This emotional chasm between our time and theirs reflects a fundamental misunderstanding of their cosmology. The Aztecs did not view sacrifice as cruelty, but as a necessary exchange, a way to ensure the sun's journey and the world's survival. Their rituals were steeped in meaning and purpose. To comprehend the Aztec worldview, one must recognize that their actions were rooted in a profound sense of responsibility. They believed that neglecting these rituals could lead to catastrophic consequences, a cosmic collapse that threatened their very existence. As we delve deeper into this topic, it becomes clear that the Aztec practice of sacrifice was not a random act of violence, but a structured system embedded within their culture. Their rituals were carefully planned, reflecting a complex relationship between humanity and the divine. This understanding does not excuse the practice, but it invites us to explore the rationale behind it. As we unravel the layers of Aztec belief, we will confront the uncomfortable truths that challenge our modern moral frameworks. The Aztecs lived in a world where the divine and the earthly were intertwined, where every act of sacrifice was a reaffirmation of their role in the universe. This perspective is key to understanding why they embraced practices that seem unfathomable to us. As we embark on this journey to unravel the logic behind Aztec sacrifice, we must ask ourselves, how can we reconcile our beliefs with theirs? What does this ancient practice reveal about the nature of faith, survival, and the human condition? In the Aztec worldview, the universe was a fragile construct, teetering on the brink of collapse. Each day was a battle against cosmic chaos, where the sun's journey required constant sustenance from human lives. The Aztecs believed that previous worlds had already met their demise. The current sun, Tonatiuh, demanded regular offerings to maintain its light, linking human existence to the very fabric of cosmic order. Sacrifice was not an act of cruelty, but a necessary exchange, a binding agreement between humanity and the divine. Each offering was a plea for survival, a way to avert the impending doom of cosmic collapse. Central to this belief was the notion of time. The Aztecs meticulously tracked celestial movements, aligning their rituals with the rhythms of the heavens, ensuring that their sacrifices coincided with significant astronomical events. Calendars governed every aspect of life, dictating when sacrifices should occur. The sacred 260-day Tonopawali and the 365-day Shupawali intertwined, creating a complex system that demanded regular offerings. Fear of cosmic retribution was deeply ingrained in the Aztec psyche. This fear was not merely a tool of oppression. It was a reflection of their understanding of existence, where neglecting sacrifice could lead to annihilation. The fragility of their world was palpable, and the Aztecs felt a profound responsibility to sustain it. Each act of sacrifice was a reaffirmation of their commitment to the gods, a way to stave off the apocalypse. Through rituals, the Aztecs sought to create stability in an unpredictable universe. Their sacrifices were acts of devotion, designed to maintain harmony and prevent the unraveling of their world. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the Aztecs understood that their existence hinged on these rituals. Each day was a new opportunity to reinforce their bond with the divine, a chance to avert the darkness. In the heart of Tenochtitlan, the Aztecs believed that the gods had sacrificed their own essence to create the world. This act of divine generosity established a sacred obligation for humanity to repay that debt through ritual sacrifice, a fundamental aspect of their existence. To the Aztecs, blood was not merely a physical substance. It was a vital force, a sacred energy that connected the mortal realm to the divine. Every drop spilled was seen as a vital exchange, a way to sustain the cosmos and ensure its continued existence. The act of sacrifice was not viewed as punishment for sin, but rather as a fulfillment of duty. Each offering was a testament to devotion, a necessary transaction that kept the balance of the universe intact and honored the gods' sacrifices. During ceremonies, the heart was considered the most sacred offering, symbolizing life itself. As the priest extracted the heart from the sacrificial victim, it was believed that this act released the divine energy needed to nourish the sun and maintain cosmic order. The Aztecs structured their society around this moral economy, where each individual's life force contributed to the greater good. This belief instilled a sense of purpose, as every sacrifice was a vital part of a larger cosmic narrative. In this worldview, failure to repay the gods through sacrifice was seen as a direct threat to the stability of the universe. The Aztecs lived with the constant awareness that their actions had profound implications for both the earthly and divine realms. The concept of divine debt permeated every aspect of life. From the commoner to the ruler, everyone was bound by this obligation, reinforcing social hierarchies and ensuring that the practice of sacrifice remained a communal duty. As the Aztecs engaged in warfare, they did so with the understanding that each captured enemy would serve a higher purpose. These prisoners were not merely victims. They were seen as vital contributors to the divine economy of life and death. Ultimately, the Aztec belief in blood as currency was a reflection of their understanding of existence itself. As they prepared for the next great ceremony, the stakes were clear. Without their offerings, the very fabric of their world would unravel. In the heart of Tenochtitlan, towering temples dominate the skyline, their stone facades adorned with intricate carvings. Here, the Aztec rulers are not merely leaders, they are divine intermediaries, tasked with maintaining the delicate balance between the gods and their people. The emperor, a tall man in his 40s with a strong build and piercing dark eyes, stands before the assembled crowd. His ornate attire glimmers in the sunlight, symbolizing both power and divine favor, as he prepares to address his subjects. As public ceremonies unfold, the rituals reinforce the emperor's authority. Each act of sacrifice is a demonstration of loyalty, binding the people to their rulers and the cosmic order, ensuring that the sun continues its journey across the sky. Priestly classes, dressed in ceremonial garb, wield immense power. Their knowledge of the heavens and the sacred calendars positions them as vital players in the empire's governance, intertwining spiritual and political authority. Participation in rituals is not voluntary. It is a civic duty. Citizens gather for ceremonies, their faces painted with symbols of allegiance as they chant prayers that echo through the streets, reinforcing their connection to the divine. The empire's expansion relies on the belief that the gods favor the strong. Every conquest is framed as a divine mandate, with captured warriors destined for sacrifice, ensuring the cycle of life and death continues. Temples serve as both spiritual sanctuaries and political centers, where the emperor's decrees are proclaimed. The architecture reflects the empire's might, with towering structures that symbolize the unbreakable bond between faith and governance. As the rituals unfold, fear and reverence intertwine. The populace understands that their survival hinges on the emperor's ability to appease the gods, creating a society where faith is enforced through the very fabric of governance. In this intricate web of belief and power, the Aztec Empire thrives. Yet as it expands, the consequences of this faith-driven governance will soon collide with forces beyond its control, setting the stage for inevitable conflict. In the heart of the Aztec Empire, warfare was not merely a clash of arms, but a calculated strategy to capture. The goal was to secure prisoners for ritual sacrifice, reinforcing both military discipline and religious duty. These conflicts, known as flower wars, were formalized engagements designed to minimize destruction. Instead of annihilation, captives were sought, turning the battlefield into a stage for cosmic balance and duty. This system of warfare was deeply intertwined with the Aztec belief in divine obligation. Each captured individual represented a life that could nourish the gods, ensuring the sun's journey across the sky. Aztec military leaders understood that the act of capturing was not just a tactical maneuver, it was a vital component of their cosmological framework. War became a means to fulfill sacred debts. The warriors trained rigorously, not only in combat, but in the rituals that followed. They were taught that each victory brought them closer to the divine, intertwining their fates with the gods. As the captives were brought back to the city, the atmosphere shifted. The tension of battle gave way to a solemn duty, where the lives of the captured became integral to the community's survival. This captive system reinforced the political structure of the empire. Rulers relied on the sacrifices to legitimize their authority, ensuring that the cycle of life and death remained in balance. The intertwining of warfare and ritual created a society where every act of violence served a higher purpose. It was a world where the sacred and the martial were inseparable, defining the very essence of Aztec identity. As the Aztec Empire expanded, so too did the complexity of its captive system. The need for prisoners intensified, shaping not only military strategy, but the very fabric of society itself. In the heart of Tenochtitlan, the sun rises over the great temple, casting long shadows across the stone steps. Each ritual sacrifice was meticulously planned, with priests donning ceremonial attire, their faces painted in vibrant colors to signify their roles in the sacred acts. The timing of each sacrifice was crucial, aligned with celestial events and agricultural cycles. The priests consulted the sacred calendars, ensuring that every offering was made at the precise moment deemed necessary to sustain the universe. Locations for the ceremonies were chosen with care, often atop sacred altars where the connection to the divine felt strongest. These sites were not merely backdrops. They were imbued with layers of meaning, reinforcing the cosmic order. Priestly roles were strictly defined, with each individual responsible for specific tasks. The high priest, adorned with elaborate regalia, led the ceremony, embodying the voice of the gods and ensuring that every action adhered to tradition. The rituals unfolded with a rhythm that echoed the heartbeat of the cosmos. Chants filled the air, accompanied by the sound of drums, creating a sense of unity among participants and spectators alike, binding them to their shared fate. Symbolism played a vital role in the ceremonies. The offerings, often including the hearts of captives, represented the life force necessary to nourish the gods, reinforcing the belief that their survival depended on these acts of devotion. Predictability was essential to the ritual. Participants took comfort in the familiar patterns of the ceremonies. This repetition fostered a sense of security, reinforcing their belief in the stability of the cosmos and their place within it. Community participation was not merely encouraged, it was a requirement. Each citizen played a role in the ceremonies, whether as spectators or participants, ensuring that the collective responsibility for cosmic balance was shared. As the final moments of the ceremony approached, a palpable tension filled the air. The community held its breath, united in hope and fear, knowing that the outcome would determine their fate in the ever-turning wheel of existence. In the heart of Tenochtitlan, the site of ritual sacrifice became a daily reminder of the delicate balance between the human and divine. Citizens witnessed the ceremonies, their eyes drawn to the blood-soaked stones, instilling a sense of cosmic urgency. Fear was not merely an emotion, it served as a stabilizing force within Aztec society. The visible sacrifices acted as a constant reminder of the gods' power and the dire consequences of neglecting their needs. For the Aztecs, witnessing sacrifice confirmed the rulers' roles as intermediaries between the divine and the mortal. The act of bloodletting was a public display of devotion, reinforcing loyalty to both the gods and the empire. The fear generated by these rituals was woven into the fabric of daily life. It served as a reminder that the cosmos was fragile, and only through sacrifice could the sun continue its journey across the sky. In this society, obedience was cultivated through the shared experience of fear. The sight of bloodshed was not only accepted but expected, a necessary part of maintaining cosmic order and stability. The rulers, aware of the power of fear, ensured that sacrifices were public events. Each ritual was a spectacle, designed to reinforce their authority and remind the populace of the consequences of disobedience. As the empire expanded, so did the scale of sacrifices. The more elaborate the rituals, the deeper the fear instilled in the citizens, binding them closer to their rulers and the divine. Yet, beneath this facade of stability, there existed an undercurrent of anxiety. The populace understood that failure to appease the gods could lead to catastrophic consequences, a fear that permeated their existence. In this environment, fear became a tool for governance, a mechanism that ensured compliance and unity. The Aztec worldview, steeped in ritual and obligation, was a delicate balance, one that would soon face unprecedented challenges. In 1519, the arrival of Hernán Cortés marked a pivotal moment for the Aztec Empire. His ships, laden with European soldiers, brought not only foreign weapons, but also a worldview starkly different from that of the Aztecs. For the Spanish, the ritual sacrifice they witnessed was a grotesque display of savagery, devoid of meaning. The Aztecs, led by Moctezuma II, viewed their rituals as sacred obligations, essential to maintaining cosmic balance. As the Spanish observed the ceremonies, they struggled to comprehend the deeply ingrained beliefs that justified these acts. The clash of perspectives would soon spiral into conflict. The Spanish interpreted the Aztec rituals as barbaric, a reflection of a culture they deemed inferior. This perception was fueled by their own religious convictions, which emphasized a singular moral truth. The Aztecs, in contrast, found their beliefs rooted in a complex understanding of reciprocity and survival. As tensions escalated, the Spanish began to dismantle the very fabric of Aztec society. Temples were destroyed, sacred objects looted, and the narrative of the Aztecs was rewritten to fit European ideals. The clash of cultures justified the conquest in the eyes of the invaders. The Aztecs, bewildered by the Spanish rejection of their beliefs, struggled to find common ground. They had always viewed sacrifice as a means of sustaining the universe, but now their worldview was met with hostility. Misunderstanding deepened as each side clung to their own truths. In the face of invasion, the Aztecs attempted to adapt, seeking to explain their practices to the Spanish. Yet the rigid moral framework of the Europeans left little room for dialogue. The Aztec logic, once a cornerstone of their existence, began to fade under foreign scrutiny. As the conflict intensified, the Spanish narrative of savagery became a tool for justifying their actions. The Aztecs were portrayed as barbaric in religious texts, erasing the complexity of their beliefs and practices. This distortion would echo through history. The Aztec Empire, once vibrant and powerful, faced existential threats from both the Spanish and their own internal divisions. The collision of these two moral universes was not just a battle for land, but a struggle for the very essence of belief and identity. As the Spanish continued their conquest, the Aztecs grappled with the loss of their sacred traditions. The consequences of this collision would reverberate through generations, leaving a legacy of misunderstanding that persists to this day. In the centuries following the fall of the Aztec Empire, the practice of ritual sacrifice became a potent symbol of barbarism in Western narratives. The complexity of Aztec beliefs was overshadowed by sensationalism, reducing a rich cosmology to mere horror. This simplification ignored the intricate web of obligation, duty, and survival that defined the Aztec worldview. As European powers expanded their empires, the Aztecs were often depicted as savages in need of salvation. This portrayal served to justify colonization and the erasure of indigenous cultures. The Aztec practice of sacrifice was recast as a grotesque spectacle, a narrative that resonated with audiences eager to distance themselves from such brutality. In modern times, the legacy of Aztec sacrifice continues to evoke mixed reactions. Some view it as a barbaric relic of the past, while others seek to reclaim the narrative, emphasizing the cultural context and spiritual significance behind these rituals. Yet the original understanding remains obscured by layers of myth and misunderstanding. The Aztec Empire's intricate belief system, which linked sacrifice to cosmic balance, has been largely forgotten in favor of sensationalist interpretations. This disconnect hinders meaningful dialogue about the nature of belief and power. The Aztecs understood their rituals as essential to the universe, a perspective that challenges modern assumptions about morality and civilization. In popular culture, the image of the Aztec sacrifice has been distorted into a monolithic symbol of violence. Movies and literature often perpetuate this view, reinforcing stereotypes that overlook the nuanced realities of Aztec society. As a result, the rich tapestry of their history is reduced to a singular narrative of cruelty. Despite the prevailing misconceptions, scholars and indigenous voices strive to illuminate the complexities of Aztec sacrifice. They argue for a more nuanced understanding that recognizes the interplay of belief, power, and survival. This effort seeks to honor the legacy of the Aztecs while challenging the narratives that have long misrepresented them. The legacy of Aztec sacrifice serves as a reminder that fear-based systems can persist in various forms throughout history. When belief and power intertwine, the consequences can be profound. Understanding these dynamics is essential for grappling with the complexities of human societies, both past and present. Ultimately, the Aztec practice of sacrifice invites us to reflect on our own beliefs and the systems that govern our lives. While the actions of the past may evoke discomfort, they also offer lessons on the nature of obligation, community, and the human condition. In understanding their logic, we find pathways to deeper comprehension of our shared history.